Hey kids, Cousin Rich here from Castles, Capes, and Clones, and today we'll be looking at a custom lightsaber blade for your Galaxy's Edge Savi's Workshop or Legacy lightsabers. So join me on today's episode of Hyperspace Hijinks. Alright, like I said in the intro, we'll be looking at a customized lightsaber blade. So this is not an actual Disney Lucasfilm product. It's actually a custom product that I got off of a Etsy shop called Jaymoo's Playground. And they make these in different lengths, built specifically to be compatible with a Savi's customized lightsaber blade from the Disney parks or the Galaxy's Edge Legacy lightsaber, so the replica prop hilts, such as this Leia one. They will not work with this because this is a Black Series Elite Hasbro lightsaber, nor will it work with a Disney Parks lightsaber. It has to be the ones that you get at like Doc Ondar's or you make at Savi's. Because it's a little bit of a different system, even though they look like it might work. What this does is it gives you, or the blade, your lightsaber, the opportunity to have kind of what customized lightsaber blades have, or customized lightsabers that you buy from third parties that can range between $600 to $800. You know, a brighter blade, more effects, being able to change color on the fly, and have different profiles and sound effects and whatnot. The difference is that because the sound and the electronics for the motion detection and the clash, like the hit detection, is built into the lightsaber itself, this will only control the LEDs. So you can have change of color, you can have different kind of like animated effects, and you can also kind of change the flash on clash. So the detection for the flash and clash is on the hilt, but what happens is on the saber, because this has electronics built in, which is why this is also a powered blade, as opposed to the normal ones, which are not. It's rechargeable. There is a micro USB port right here, and this power is separate from the blade, the hilt's power. You still need the batteries, so it's two powered things together. Other differences are, I think this is close to or is a NeoPixel blade, which is a little bit higher quality. I think they have more LEDs and they're brighter. You can kind of tell it's a solid white, whereas if you look at the Savi's blade, there's kind of like a clear coating to it. It's kind of thick. So when you're looking at like this, you can see the white part, but then a clear kind of shell around it. Plus the tips are dome shaped and clear as well. Whereas on the Jaymoo blade, looks more like a bullet, and it's also white, like that. Otherwise, they do go into a hilt the same way. So let us take a look at the differences between all the blades. So I'm going to turn off the lights so you can see the colors and the brightness a little bit better. So, all right, with the lights off, we can take a look at these. First, I want to show you the regular Savi's hilt with a Savi's blade. I have a yellow crystal in here. I don't know if you can see the color there, but this is what it looks like. You see, it's the yellow blade. Now I want to show you, in comparison, the Black Series Elite Rays lightsaber, which is also yellow. So hopefully you can see it on the video, but the Ray one is a little bit more of a deeper yellow than the Savi's one. In fact, the Savi's one kind of looks greenish, like a pale green. You'll also notice on the Savi's one, at least I can, that there's banding along the blade. That's because the LED lights There's less of them, I think, and less bright, so you can kind of see the gaps in between them. And you'll notice when you power down and power up that it kind of does it in chunks. So it's not a total smooth thing. And that is the flash on clash. This turns white. Okay. You can see it. Whereas the raise one, a little more deeper yellow than this one, but also I can see the banding on it. However, it is a smoother power up and power down. So that's that. And then it does the little color change right over here. All right, now let's compare it to the Savi's hilt with the Jaymoo blade on it. You can really tell that this lit up the area way more than the other two. But it is definitely yellow compared to, like when you see them side by side, this looks green and this looks yellow. So, turn these off so you can get a better look at this. I don't see any banding. It's pretty much a solid color. And the flash on clash on this one might be different. Yeah. This one has a special flash on clash which emits from the middle. So like it gets white here and then spreads out to the sides. And then also the power up and power down are pretty smooth. And kind of in sync with the sound a little bit. See? So for the sound, it's directly correlated to whatever crystal is in your Savi's blade, or whatever the Legacy Lightsaber hilt is. So there's that. So yeah, the things about this blade is that it's brighter, it's smoother, has way more LEDs, and you can program it. So that's what the 8 profile or 12 profile thing is. It's set and programmed for 12 very different looks, and I will show you that in a second. So one last thing I want to show you before we go through what I have programmed into Blade is that it does work on a Legacy lightsaber. So to use again, just be careful. Get it out. And because I had it set on yellow, this should be yellow. Yep. There you go. So now I'm turning on lights, off the lights again to show you all 12 profiles that I had Jaymoo's Playground put onto this blade. All right, so for the first profile I have, it's a blue color with a film accurate flicker. Because if you look at the films, all the lightsabers aren't just a solid color. There's a little bit of a flicker to them. And so you don't get that with the Savi's blade. It's all just solid yellow. But here you can see, again, pretty bright. And I don't know if you can tell in the video, but it does have a flicker. And also that deflection flash on clash, which is also something you can select when you want Jaymoo's Playground to program this. There's that. The next one I have here is a red color, but it has a kind of more unstable energy look to it. I think he has 2 different unstable ones, like a total chaotic looking unstable one that's more like Kylo Ren-y. And then this one's more of a controlled unstable, if that makes sense. But here it is. It also has, it's what I noticed in the movies, that Darth Vader in The Empire Strikes Back especially, when it lights his lightsaber, it kind of goes slow. So it also has a red, or a slower ignition. You can see that. Cool. And hopefully you can see a little bit unstable. But this has the normal flash on clash. It's a solid white, but pretty bright, like it's jarring. And then this, I think the depowering is also slower. Next one is a more movie accurate red, so it's a red with a flicker. Again with that slow ignition. I think it has a deflection. There you go. So that is that one. So this next one is special because all the Savi's blades have 2 extra colors that they don't normally do because you need the color crystals, and that is an orange and a cyan. But they don't make those crystals, so you can't really use those colors. But the Savi's hilts do have them programmed into it. So on this Jaymoo blade, it actually does have it. So you can choose orange, like this one. Probably easier to tell by the surrounding reflections that it's orange. But it also has a different animation where it kind of breathes. You can tell it gets brighter and then dimmer. That's cool. So this next one is yellow with a kind of energy ladder effect. I don't know if you can tell on the video, but there's like a white band every now and then that goes up the blade. Thought that was a kind of cool effect. And also has the deflection, flash on flash. The next one is another yellow. Again, but it's a little more of a solid yellow with a deflection. So there's no flicker on it, it's just a solid yellow lightsaber. But with that there. And then this next one is white with the same kind of unstable effect that the red one had, with also a slow ignition. See it there. All right, now we move on to the purple, which has a fast ignition and a kind of flash before it gets fully extended. So, see that? It also has a flicker. All right, let's take a look at that again. Cool. And now this other one is the other color that a Savi's hilt can be that they don't sell, and that is cyan. Cyan? Is that how you say it? I don't know. But it also has a flicker. So take a look at this now. I'm going to switch it back to blue so you can kind of see the difference side by, at least one after the other. So here's what blue looks like again. So you want to compare the two. It is definitely a different color. All right, so I think that was all the normal colors. So I'm going to move on to the special animations that I had added to it. This first one is called Fire Flame, for reasons you'll see. But it looks like fire. So that was pretty cool. It has a normal flash on clash. Kind of neat. All right, this next one's a fun one because my name is Roma Santa. Sometimes I say when people ask me to spell my last name for them, I'm like Roma, like the tomato, Santa, like Santa. So I wanted a kind of holiday one, which he has available. It looks like this. It's kind of got like a candy cane barbershop pole looking thing. I don't know if you can tell in the video, but I think against my shirt and the table you might be able to see it. That's pretty fun. Has a normal flash on clash. This last one I had actually commissioned by James Playground. He has one called Bleed, but it went either from red to white or white to red, like you're bleeding a blade or a crystal. But I wanted one that kind of goes between a blue and a red. So it's kind of like a role play piece. So here goes. There you go. Blue to red. Kind of neat, huh? One last thing I want to go over is like, how do you switch between all the different effects? And that's simple. So when you turn it on, it's like that. But then to switch to the next profile, you deactivate it. Before it's fully deactivated, you turn it back on. So that goes to that one. Goes with the solid flicker. So there you go. That is what my 12 profiles look like. You may have noticed that I don't have a green. That's because I forgot to actually put a green in there. When I was doing it, there's so many different options you can do. And what you do is, so what you do to buy one of these, you go to the Etsy shop. I'll have a link down below. You either choose the 12 or 8 profile blade. That means you can have 12 different settings or 8 different settings. This one's a 12. And then you choose the length, and he has way different lengths. Like this one's a 32-inch blade, whereas the Galaxy's Edge ones, the middle blade is a 31-inch blade. So I wanted one that's a little bit bigger so I can tell them apart kind of quickly. And then he'll email you and ask you what you want as your profiles. And then he has a YouTube page where he shows them all, and you kind of pick and choose. The that blue to red was commissioned, which means he didn't have that already kind of programmed somewhere, so he had to program it, and that was cost a little bit more. All in all, my blade cost $350, which I know that's a lot. It's more than the blade or the hilt itself, but with all the options and stuff, I think it's worth it. And plus, I paid $50 extra for the programming and labor needed to make a specific effect. You don't have to do that. So it's like 300-ish for the 12 profile one, and I think 269 for an 8. And they come in all different sizes. There's like a lot of sizes, everything in between everything. And also, like when I ordered it, I think it came within a week, so that was kind of cool. Again, you know, it's steep, but if you're gonna buy a custom lightsaber that does all this and a little bit more, you're looking real. Because I was about to get one, then I decided to get this first instead. But it's gonna run you like $600, unless you're good with doing it yourself and you buy pieces, and maybe it'll be like $400 to $500. So having a blade that has all those effects that I can use on any hilt I want, that's from Galaxy's Edge, worth it for me. I might buy 2 more so I can build a double bladed lightsaber, and they can both have the same kind of options. But I'll probably do an 8 one, and not forget to do green. But yeah. Again, check the links below to check out his page. He has a bunch of stuff on there usually, depending on, you know, if he has the components and whatnot. And if you like this video, consider subscribing to the channel. Leave a comment for what you want me to check out next, or if you have any questions about this, and I can tell you. And yeah, that's it. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side.